Hello, folks. Welcome to our December 29th Select Board meeting, all present and accounted for. We are not using the camera tonight, just audio tonight. Hope everybody had a nice Christmas and enjoyed today's weather and stayed safe, and it's a happy new year as well. We can start off with the clerk report, yes, or, well, you were just doing audio.
Okay.
Okay.
Orange.
Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to remind everyone. Is it on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I checked the video.
Okay.
Playing news.
Reminder, we are closed this week, Wednesday through Friday for the New Year holiday. We had a little incident today on Hasty Road. There was a call first thing this morning, a CMP truck got stuck in the middle, and Maya was called, and he ordered some new signs today that would draw a little bit more attention. This driver actually saw the signs and kept on driving. And I think he just got out a couple hours ago. Maya had to go get him, and it was a really tricky situation. So, it was quite a deal. So, just a reminder, Hasty Road is not a through road in the winter time, and you will see some new signs. I think he said he's a mountain road, and also on Hasty Road, some big bright signs. He talked to White Sign today.
Keys Mountain Road.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that will be good. 45-day reminder notices are going to be sent out January 12th for any unpaid 2023 taxes. January 27th will be the 30-day notice mailing, and February 26th would be the automatic foreclosure. So if 2023 taxes have not been paid, we'll be receiving some notices in the mail. On the warrant today is the January 2026 health insurance payment, and that does reflect our increase. We did get a notice from MMA, and I think you get the same. The health plans increased by 9%. The dental plan increased by 5%. And vision stayed the same. So just wanted to, the invoice is a lot larger than what it was last year. So just wanted to keep that in mind. Did have an inquiry today about when the winter plowing contract would be available to bid on. And I did provide that person with a copy of the old contract, make sure they know that was the old contract and didn't work and not making some edits. It does look like that this current contract expires June 30th, 2026. Any idea when the new contract might be available for people to look at?
Okay. We are
We're
working
working right now. When it will be back
Yeah,
up to
right
there or
next
anything?
I think it'll be by next month.
Well, we got.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
review next Monday and then,
is that okay to do that, just given the total contract for the
As long as we know
that?
that the stuff might change slightly.
Okay. And I know it's the holidays, so, but I just don't want to lose track on a few of these things. I've not got a response from the auditor. I've not got a response from Chris Sanborn or the manager at M&T Bank regarding the changes to our interest rates. So just gonna, hopefully after the holidays, we'll schedule some meetings and have some dates, but I just don't want to lose track of that. And that is all I've got.
right. We can probably push Chris a little bit now.
I don't mind, I know you guys are busy, so I just want to keep it on there until we actually get a date.
I noticed that this computer here also had a note on it to download Microsoft. I think that the planning board wants to use it, so we can have it use as a general.
Okay.
I just saw it and turned it on. Next, we can approve our agenda. I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as written.
Second.
All in favor? And then we have minutes from December 15th. We did not meet last week, so the minutes are from the week before that, and we'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as written. All in favor? Okay.
Minutes. Just your opinion.
Yeah.
Everyone.
It's a good thing it's red. Visible. Review and approve bills to be paid. So our warrant this week totals $45,413. As Danielle mentioned, it has the employees' health trust payments. We have salt deliveries to Secocas and Maplewood, winter sand to Maplewood, and also from, that's interesting too, White Mills and Shea and Sons. Okay. We're paying ServPro for the painting, the finishing of their job that they did after our water leak in the town hall. An addendum to that. Anderson's as well for the pipe replacement. Tuck, Eastern Propane. That's not too bad, $861 for the propane. Norman's mileage, MT Bank. Order office machines, Secretary of State, $45,413.03. Ads, do we have any ads? In the paper, no, because the shopping guide hasn't printed. Ads, no reports have come in. Meetings, I did notice the planning board is, moving their public hearing to the January the 28th due to the fact that the shopping guide wasn't publishing papers for that for the last 2 weeks. So that'll be on the 28th January. We have several discussion items. The trio assessing module. Hold your voices on that one.
So some actual good news on that one. So talked to Trio before the holiday, and they are going to split the invoicing for the assessing. So they're going to split it between this year and next year. They're going to align it with our normal Trio annual so that it gets aligned with that. So it actually reduced some of the amounts. But so the invoice that we would get in January would be for $3,836.33, which is aligned with what we planned for.
That's good.
And then our invoice for, they said that like they normally do in July, but with a due date in September, would be for $4303.37. And that covers all the software and professional services, and the annual maintenance part of the contract. They reduced the professional services piece because I talked to Bob and he said that they already use it in other towns. And so if anybody needed to be trained on it, they would be willing to do the training. So that saved us, that was like $1,600 So that got reduced down to 200, and then split over the 2 years, so it's 100 each year. So that saved us a good chunk of money there. And then it was only paying for 8/12 of the annual maintenance instead of all 12 months worth of the annual maintenance for this year. So that's why it's a little bit lower this year versus next year.
Next year.
And then going forward, it would only be the 1401 annually, obviously subject to annual increases from Trio. So that's wonderful news, because we were kind of nervous about having to spend that $8,000 this year all
Right.
in one chunk, so.
It's still that amount, but now split up into different invoices. Few hundreds of savings.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome, thanks, Aaron. That's really helpful.
And so, didn't know if we wanted to do that now, wait till next week. They did send over the quote with that, all that verbiage in there for us to sign. We can either vote on it now and they'll send us the actual invoice.
Have you seen the invoice? No.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
I can send it. Software to file.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
Can we,
I can forward that over to,
okay,
and we can just vote on it next week.
sounds good to me.
Yeah, not a have to do today.
No dates are in here too. For the different invoices.
Yes. I sent that to you. I sent it to you on the 18th.
Me as well.
Yep.
Why don't we still wait for next Monday and then we can delve into the accounts?
When is Bob gonna invoice us for his time?
He, I think we'll do it soon. He spoke to us, a little bit about what we paid O'Donnell's and what his charges were, and he was willing to actually drop some of his cost to us. But we had already paid O'Donnell's, correct? Yep, so we know he's already put in, I think, more work than he kind of anticipated coming into the office and going through files and folders and trying to straighten things out, so we were like, requesting him pay is what we're paying, so.
Into look at the accounts, it's paid into.
Let's see, we have had a request from our code enforcement officer to come up with what he calls a new home packet. It's something that he uses in Parsonsfield so that all the permits that require home building, as in septic, certificate of occupancy, all those permits will be together in one packet. And that's what he gives to people who are coming in to request new homes. I told him that we would really like to sit down with him and go through his new home packet that he uses in Newfield one by one to make sure that it is in keeping with what the Parsonsfield would need. And figure out where and how we could get those copies. That was on his list. A new printer is on his list, and also a computer, a desktop for Kent, our deputy CEO, which shouldn't be very expensive. Yeah, so that would be another, maybe a workshop that Monday, just to look at the accounts and see where that's coming from. Norman also brought up the fact that our permit fees for the town of Parsonsfield are very, very low, especially compared to what Newfield is. And Aaron had done a comparison of permits from varying towns, several towns around Cornish, Hiram Porter, that he forwarded to us. So we'll go through that and take a look, and that is something that the select board can vote on and do without any kind of a special town meeting. And I think in keeping with some of what we're seeing for growth, that it's important for the town to keep up with permit fees so that they reflect what's going on. I think come up with a new list. That would be interesting. We have a personnel matter to vote on, and I am going to make a motion that we terminate the town's employment of the select board assistant effective immediately. Don't we do that?
Second?
All in favor? Okay, and I'll be writing a letter to that effect. We have just one poll permit to sign. This is going Benson Road, that's you, south of this road. We give that to you, don't we, the poll permit? Is that what we've been doing over there? Oh. Need a pen.
I'm prepared.
Yeah. Yeah. Abatements, we have several abatements to sign. Our assessor has done really well to go through things one by one. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 abatements. One was sold before the April 1st. Assessing. So that's one. Property that was sold prior to April 1st. Another property that was wrongly assessed to another individual. Should have read 46 already.
Close.
Yep. We have one that was a garage mistakenly assessed as a house. This wasn't good total, it was up. They wrote for us. And another one that, for a business that no longer exists, sadly. So that's. So, same amount, that's really strange. Oh, yeah. Roughly $8,000. 6, 7, yeah, roughly $8,000. Okay. And abatements. So we have a bunch of other updates, and maybe before we, I'll go out of order a little bit here before you talk about the carpet. On Tuesday, December 23rd, the deputy clerk, Renee, came in and found water in the hallway once again. Our HVAC guy, Paul Kemet, came in and found that one of the expansion tanks in the boiler room had popped a hole. It was kind of old and cracked, and water was pouring out of it into the boiler room, seeped through into one of the offices, the washroom, some into the kitchen, and quickly rectified that by turning it off and calling ServPro to come and do the water extraction once again. Definitely not as bad as the first, but we are dealing with an old building and old equipment, and it's kind of a little bit, it's concerning that we have a lot of breakdowns going on, so. That's being taken care of. The good news is that it was not gray water, the carpeting had already been taken up, it's dry enough in this weather that the walls, you know, as far as that goes, hopefully will dry out. They've had to drill a few holes, but in the bottom where the baseboards will go, so those will be covered up. But that was one more thing in our list of to-dos for the town hall. I don't think it'll delay carpet, so yeah. That's gonna, you wanna,
So we are getting our carpets installed, which is gonna require the date is first Thursday, second Thursday of January.
so it'll be the 8th,
That
right?
would be the 8th, because they need Fridays in the overflow day.
Sure.
So we closed on the 8th because I can't even want to move in the waste. And hopefully that is our last big project for the restoration from the original flood. Which means we will not have this like a workshop.
Right. So
And they're still, and I confirm they're still on schedule.
there,
Our carpet is here.
and then tomorrow ServPro will be back to look at the dryness of the walls, and I'll ask him about the time frame. Would anybody be available Wednesday morning to open up if they need to get in here Wednesday morning? I will be on the road at 6 a.m. Wednesday.
Oh,
Wednesday morning, so we're closed, but I said that if they need to get in, that maybe somebody would be able to open.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I could come up super early. But I'd be home about to close.
Yeah.
So,
I
okay.
can.
They probably don't,
Yeah.
okay. Joe will let me know tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. And that they usually are here to wait.
Right.
Okay. Salt and sand shed, still on our list of requirements. Oh, I did. One of the things that we'll mention maybe next Monday at the workshop, when I went into the Department of Transportation today, they had something called priority numbers that deal with salt and sand sheds, and it has to do with environment, and they did talk about money available for replacing salt and sand sheds, so we should check it out. Look into it and see if there's any, the state may have money to replace it.
source of the funds,
Hmm?
where's the funds coming from?
From the state,
DOT?
probably, and I think DEP, I think they're, a lot of it's concerned about environment. And having the proper pads, having it contained, that kind of thing. So, find out more. Yeah. It would be amazing if we could get some help with that, because it definitely needs to be replaced. There was a resident getting sand very late at night, it was 9 o'clock at night, there's no lights, and, you know, the building itself, it could be a liability issue. Who's put a notice out, please, if we're gonna get a couple of buckets to burn with it. Might be things in there that can trip over. The clerk safe. MMA won't cover it, because they said it's normal wear and tear and break off. So I guess we'll have to look at what's available, what's out there, what we need, and what we have to replace it. I can,
Figure out what has to go in and, figure out the most affordable one.
what size?
Yep.
Okay.
Or like, big safe, and some overflows. Maybe there's different options to lot that information.
Do you think we need a safe that as big as that one was?
You have to look at the materials and stuff.
That was, okay. Because they're not cheap. What did we see? About 8,000, was it?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if that office supply person that got us all the file cabinets
cabinets?
has a safe.
It's very possible.
I'll check out those websites and see if he's got something like that.
I can also go on the farm site, chat site, and see if anyone's on the.
Okay, sure.
If they have sources.
And we did have an offer from one of the guys on ServPro who was doing the painting to take away the electric stove, so hopefully we'll do that. Plowing. Complaints of speed by the plow drivers, not just on the south side, but north side as well. I've seen trucks flying down Elm Street way faster than the speed limit itself, so, we've spoken with both the north and the south contractors to please be careful of speed. It's dangerous, throws salt, sand, and rocks in various directions that could be dangerous to a lot of people. Anything you guys want to add to the plowing issues that we're having?
I think we're just looking at all the issues that we
Yeah.
see going on.
Yeah, and we already discussed, talked a little bit about the RFP for plowing, so, the contractors. I think that's about all I see on my agenda.
I was just gonna remind you, probably we're gonna some trees down tonight in a few places, so they can use the text and site to report that.
Yes,
Because when I was the one that had some tree branches very heavy.
Yep.
And mine is really good, getting rid of it's coming up. So
yeah.
it's just helping them maybe to reach them faster that way.
What about, like the plow, like complaints of plows going too fast, is that a text, my gov?
Sure is.
Okay, all right, so don't forget we have that ability, guys, to get your comments out there,
Put another reminder.
okay? That would be good.
It's gonna be a cold and windy couple of days, so we need to be careful out there driving.
Yeah, also, I mean, if we have an extended, we do have a York County Parsonsfield EMA, and if we have an extended power outage, we will open up as a center for warmth and shelter and device powering on. Might be a little awkward with what's going on in the town hall right now, so it's kind of a mess, folks, but we'll keep you updated. No public are here to make a comment. Thanks for putting up with our lack of video. We should be back with our videos next Monday, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Thanks, guys. Have a happy and very safe new year.